Good evening, Mr. Ham. How are you doing, sir?
I am excellent, Mr. Claywell. How are you?
I am feeling great.
Awesome. That's good.
I am.
Good.
Yeah, even better since last time. Like, I've had another couple weeks for the vaccine to kick in. The third arm is coming in nicely now.
Yeah.
I've got full upgrades all across the board.
Yep.
And
you have figured out where your boundaries are as far as like where you're not getting signal and all that kind of stuff now?
Yeah. And I know exactly Melinda is the worst person on the face of the planet immediately.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't heard?
I have not heard.
The great and wonderful Mr. Gates and his wife are soon to be no longer together.
I did read that earlier today. Yeah.
So
27 years, I think it was.
27 years.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't necessarily like read the article, but I just saw the headline and was like, oh, wow, that was kind of a long time for.
Oh, it just came straight into my brain. You know, I got that chip from Microsoft. So it was like, boop, Melinda, evil. Already got it. Gotcha.
Heard that.
Yeah, 27 years, done. All right, here we go.
Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I mean, I hate that for them unless they're unhappy. And if they're unhappy, then I'm happy for them that they're splitting and going to be happy.
Hey, I mean, as long as they're getting along now, maybe not necessarily with each other, but, you know, whatever. As long as they're at peace, that's what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Like, I'm going for the Zen flow here. As long as they're at peace with each other, then.
Exactly. As long as they are happy. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad everything is going well and that you got your downloads and the vaccine has kicked in really well for you. We really haven't been doing a lot of anything here over the last couple of weeks. Did get some ground leveled, though. Had like the dozer guy here, I think it was just before we recorded last time. And then... So we've got the ground level now for a swimming pool. So the kid is going to get a swimming pool for the summer. Yay! So we're going to start having vacations at home. I think that's what that means.
There you go. That's the way to do it too.
Yeah.
Save a lot of money that way.
No kidding. Of course, I did also, I don't know if... I know you've been talking about like looking for a new place and all of those kind of things.
Right.
Don't look at ever building, or at least not right now. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I heard in April, lumber prices went through the roof. I don't know why, but dude, I heard that they have.
I'm not kidding you. I went and looked at 2x4s the other day just to grab a couple of them to just do some work, getting things like leveling the sand. I need like a 10-foot or 12-foot 2x4 just to kind of get it all uniform.
Right.
An 8-foot just standard stud for like wall stud used to be like $2.87, $2.86, something like that. That's what I paid for them here for this house.
Right.
$10.28. Oh my gosh.
So three times.
I have a neighbor that's like building right now. I don't know how he's affording anything. I mean,
unless he had his materials paid for.
No.
Already? Oh,
he didn't. I talked to him the other day and he was like, yeah, we were able to sell our house for a little bit higher than what we had it listed on the market, but pretty much every bit of profit that he had, it's gone now.
Eat up by increase. Dang.
Yeah, that sucks. But you know what? I mean, the markets are good. That's the problem. Everyone's wanting to build right now. There's been a lot of people that have been at home are now going back to work.
Which doesn't make sense to me. Hey, yay, we can finally go back to work. We're not stuck in the house anymore. Let's build a new one.
A new house. I don't know. I guess after you get stuck looking at the same four walls for a year and a half, you're ready for something new.
But it seems like you would want to build the house when you're like, oh God, we're going to be stuck here for a year. Let's build a new place. Not after it's all over and you don't have to be there anymore.
I guess that's true.
That's like, what's the saying? Letting the horses out after the fire or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I know the barn has been on fire for a while.
Yeah. And it seems like it's a little late. Things have been going well for us.
Okay. So, you've got some big things coming up, right?
Yeah. We're getting closer to the big day. The wedding is going to be here soon.
Yeah. That's like coming up in just a few days.
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy for you.
Thank you. I am super excited. I'm so happy. I've got several little things planned for the honeymoon.
Nice.
I can't tell you all about it yet because it's a surprise.
Surprises. Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
Hopefully it will be enjoyed by all.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm ecstatic for you guys, and getting to be part of it is even better. So, yeah.
Yeah. I went today and picked up my suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks pretty good on me, if I do say so myself.
I know. I've not been. We were fitted for them, but I haven't seen mine yet. But I'm hoping I look snazzy.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You always look good, sir.
I appreciate that.
Look good. So let's get down to the meat of it.
Okay.
Let's do a Two Minds podcast episode this time.
Instead of just sitting and BSing and catching up, we'll actually have a topic.
Right. Yeah. So in the way of the topic, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What makes a man manly?
Well, I mean,
what does it mean to be a man?
Do you want like the Webster Merriam like definition, or do you want just like what someone thinks of manliness? Because I've got the definition pulled up right here in front of me.
Okay, well, we can do that, but let me just say I'm not necessarily talking about gender.
Right.
I'm just talking about, because I don't want to trigger any potential listeners out there that might be having issue with that kind of thing. I'm just talking. So you know what sparked this in my head? I'll tell you. I was at the store the other day. No, I wasn't at the store. I was getting a haircut.
Right.
And the barber started carrying a new line of grooming products.
Yes. And our barber, by the way, is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah. Larry is amazing. If you guys ever want to check it out, go down Open Blade Barber in Somerset. Highly recommend. Larry is a tremendous stylist.
The guys. Ethan, Sam, all of the people that are there are amazing barbers, and they will definitely take care of you. And they carry a full line of all kinds of manly things. Right.
And it's not just for men. They have plenty of, they can do women's stuff. They can do color. They can do all that stuff there. They're full service all the way across the board. I'm actually even going in and having a little waxing done coming up so that I look tip top.
We won't go where I think that went.
Just on the face.
Just on the face.
Just on the face. Good. Just, eyebrows and stuff to get the little strays out and everything.
Yep.
I want to look as good as I can in the photographs.
I went a 3 weeks ago, something like that, and had like the full shave, like the straight razor shave, face and head. Of course, for any of you guys that know what I look like, I have no hair on my head whatsoever. So, but I booked with Larry, and he really knows how to take care of you. I mean, we're talking like throws you down in the chair there. That's a 1950s barber chair. They're all authentic. He's gone like all over the country finding these. Does the hot towels, the different products. Then like the straight razor shave is like full on straight razor. And then he even does like the shoulder massage and head massage after that. It's full service, like old school barbershop stuff, and he's amazing. So
and it's a great experience.
It is. For anyone out there that has never had straight razor shave, go see Larry.
Yeah, give him a try. I was nervous about it at first. I'm not gonna lie. And it's definitely, I have almost fallen asleep during the process. It's very relaxing.
Very true.
But he's got this new line of products in there from a company called Duke Cannon.
Yes.
If you're not familiar, if you've seen the commercials, they're on par kind of with Dr. Squatch, that manly grooming products. And that was like their thing was like manly stuff, manly men for manly men products. And I'm like, even down to just a bar of soap.
Right.
And it's like the big ass bar of soap.
It's like the size of a brick.
Yeah, it's 9 ounces of soap. It's a huge bar of soap. And I'm like, well, so what? That makes it manly just because it's oversized? So is that what it means to be a man? You got to be big?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily it. But here's the thing. Where do you put your finger down on it?
Yeah, exactly. So that sparked in my head, like, what is it? What is it to be manly?
Right. That's a question that's easy to ask and hard to answer.
Yeah, I know. So I thought it would be fun to kind of hash out. We might get to an answer and we might not get to an answer, but I thought it would at least be fun to talk about.
Okay, so let's talk about let's get lay the groundwork then. So what is the definition of manliness? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, we're talking since 1828. That's when these guys started. Their definition of manliness is the quality or state of being manly, in quotations, as by having qualities such as strength or virility that are traditionally associated with a man. This is just like the overall general, this is what it is. They give an example. It's just like they'd been trained to identify emotional responses as the essence of manliness. Men who broke down or cried or admitted to feeling fear were sissies, weaklings, failures, not men. So, I mean, even their definition starts to kind of push you into like a label.
Right, exactly. And that's one of the things I had written down. Like one of the first things that popped into my head when I came to the question was, what's manliness? Let's talk about emotion.
Right.
As a man, are you limited to rage, anger, and hostility as your own maybe happiness, slight happiness,
humor? But I mean, when you start to show like emotion that is outside of those things, so like showing like love and affection,
right?
Those type feelings. Do you start veering off of your manliness?
Yeah, exactly. Does that make you, if you show love or sadness or fear, does that make you not manly? Like, and then so if you want to be a man, do you just have to be cold and distant? Like, is that how you be manly? To hold everybody back at arm's length and never develop close relationships?
I don't think it's that so much. So I think, my thoughts, I guess, on being manly whenever it comes to emotional, like, response is emotional control. So instead of being, I don't know, without necessarily like going into a stereotype, but being a drama queen or being someone that is just frivolous, that's out of control of their emotions. So I think someone that would be manly would be more just in control of themselves in the state of emotion.
Okay. So you're allowed to have emotions, you just can't show them.
No, you can show them,
okay,
but just keep them in check. So that way it's not, I want to say more, I guess, calculated response. Does that make sense?
So you can have emotion, just not extreme emotion. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess that might be closer to what I'm saying. When you say extreme emotion, I mean,
like you can be happy but not giddy. You can be sad but not
crying.
Boo hoo, poor me.
I think that I'm going to say that probably the manly aspect of emotion is being in control of those aspects. I mean, if you're giddy because you're allowing yourself to do this.
Right.
So I think it's just that control over the emotion.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, it makes sense. Here's another point for me, and it comes back, this isn't just about manliness, but it's about our society today in America. It's tribalism and extremism.
Pretty much.
And so when you start talking about manliness and emotion, it's almost like, if you're a guy and you're with your guy friends and something happens and you cry.
Are you
you big pansy?
Are you the weak link?
Yeah. Everybody starts making fun of you and all this other stuff. So, then you learn through your adolescence that it's not okay to show that kind of stuff. So you don't. Then you grow up and you meet somebody and you fall in love. And then that person thinks you're just a cold-hearted bastard because you never show any emotion. And they don't understand that your whole life you've been tormented for showing emotion.
You've been conditioned not to.
Right.
Yes.
Because they're, you know, in a heterosexual relationship, you know, typically speaking, a woman would have not grown up being condemned for showing emotion.
True enough.
They would have been consoled and, you know, talked through it. And, you know, as a guy, it was, you know, suck it up, walk it off, stop being a pussy.
It was a punch on the shoulder and say, and, you know, suck it up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like, you know, oh man, that's terrible. Like, you know, what happened? Talk to me about it. Like,
does that mean that we were just like surrounded by assholes?
Well, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Like so it's like,
is that the definition of manliness?
You have to be a jerk. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying though. It's like, you know, how do you, it's like everything has to be an extreme. You're either a pansy or you're cold hearted.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you know, and then it's just, that's one of the things that really bugs me is like, it's so hard to find a middle ground for anything anymore. Like where do you exist to be at peace?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
And so, you know, so that's, you know, you got your emotional aspect of manliness. And even what you read from Webster's, manly men can't show emotion. They can't be sad or afraid.
Not admitting fear. They're sissies and weaklings if they do. They don't cry. They don't break down.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. Even Merriam-Webster doesn't really necessarily have a good grasp on what manliness is.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying.
I mean, I'm going to be honest because I think manliness is something that's fluid. It changes. So, I don't know.
So another thing that popped into my head, thinking about what makes a man, what makes you manly. You know, another thing might be virility.
Right.
Right. That's a big thing in other cultures. You know, a manly man is virile. He has strong, like bull.
Exactly.
You know, so what about fatherhood? You know, does that make you a man if you can produce a child? Like, is that manly? Is it manly to have 12 kids by 15 different women?
That's not, no.
Wait, you can't do that.
See, that's not, I don't think so. And I think the reason that I say that is there are a lot of people out there, a lot of dads out there that are not fathers. So just simply because you can create a child does not necessarily mean that you are a manly man and that you have, you know, reached some sort of an apex of being manly. Just because you've produced, you know, you've conceived a child. That's not a manly thing, I don't think.
Okay, so what's manly?
What do you
in
mean?
That regard? Like
okay,
so is it manly to have raised a child? Is it manly to discipline your child? Like when we're talking about fatherhood, what's a manly part of fatherhood?
Okay, I think the manly part of being of fatherhood is being present in that child's life. I think being there for them emotionally, providing for them, stability for them, letting them know that they can come to you, protection. There's a lot of different aspects of fatherhood, I think, that can be attributed to manliness. That's not necessarily just conceiving a child or, you know, being, I don't know. Yeah. There's just a lot of different things, I guess you do with, I don't know.
I mean, fair enough. I don't know that there is an answer. I'm just, you know, like, so right now I'm trying to help raise 2 children.
Right.
I struggle with that.
It's new.
You know,
it's new to you.
It's a new experience
it's new to
for me.
I mean, I've had the kid now for 4 years, but still, it's still new. And there's new things every single day.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, you know, I jumped in with a 4-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And had to hit the ground running.
You big time.
And I try my best and I hope I do well. I hope that they both can look at me and at least respect me
right.
for the effort, even if I fail. Because I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna make mistakes. And
everyone does.
But I try.
Yep.
And you know, and there's been a few times where, you know, the whole fatherhood thing, like, and not even this, sometimes before that, where, you know, we've talked about it before. I like to take photographs. Mostly landscapes and nature. But one time I was out and I saw a bunch of kids playing, and they were having a great time, and they were all laughing and running around and smiling. And I was like, you know, I just want to try to get a picture of that joy.
Yep. Capture.
You know, because if you get a kid and you let them see you with the camera, they're going to stop and ham and get that fake smile and just, sorry, I didn't mean to say that like your last name, but you know what I mean? Like they're going to cheese it up for the camera.
No, I carry a fake smile all the time. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, you know, they're going to stop and like put on a weird cheesy grin that's not natural and look weird.
Yep.
And make
pose of some kind.
Do kind of like weird poses. And that's not what like, if I'm going to take a photograph of people, I don't want to do like posed photography. I just want to catch them in the moment.
Yep.
Like one of my favorite pictures, I've got it tacked above my desk, is I took a photograph of my grandmother when she was still alive.
Uh-huh.
And it's just her laughing.
Yeah.
Somebody else said something that was funny and she just started laughing and she didn't see the camera, and I just popped it out and grabbed a picture of her.
Yep.
And it looks great.
Because it's natural.
Right. It's not like, okay, look at me, smile, tilt your head this way, look off to the left. You know, it's just like she was just laughing, and I happened to have a good position and just snapped the photo. I love it. It's one of my favorite photos that I've taken, especially of people, because I really struggle with portrait photography. But anyway, I'm out here with all these kids playing, and at the time I had no kids.
Right.
And I just happened to be at the park for nature.
Yeah.
You know, get trees and flowers and birds and butterflies and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I'm kind of behind a tree because I don't want the kids to see the camera and be like, smile, cheese, you know.
Right.
And all of a sudden I started thinking, oh my God. Like if somebody walks by and sees me like hiding behind a tree, taking pictures of a bunch of kids, and none of those kids are mine.
That's not creepy at all.
They're going to call me a pedophile.
Yeah, that's not creepy in the slightest.
You know, it's like how. And then and then that made me mad, because at the same moment, then I thought, but if I was a woman, nobody would think twice about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that leads back to, you know, like, is that because men are dangerous? Like, is it manly? Like, because you're a man, you're dangerous. You're a predator. You're evil. You know, like, is that the societal image of men?
I want to say that that's part of it. I mean, I guess that I don't want to say that necessarily society sees all men that way, but I think that men play a large role in the predators and danger and things like that. I mean,
right, yeah. I mean, I know statistically, violent crime is like 90 some odd probably % male.
Yeah.
But it's irritating that, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just the thought of that to me.
There's no innocence anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just presumed guilty.
Yeah.
Because you're a guy.
Yeah.
Whereas if I had been a woman taking the same photos, doing the same things I was doing, people would have been like, "Oh, look at that. You know, she's cute."
But I wonder too, though, if in either situations, I wonder if whoever was there just presumed that one of the kids was yours.
I mean, probably.
You know?
Probably, yeah. But I mean, let's just
specifically too. I mean, if it were female taking pictures, I would think that would be the idea. I wonder which one of these kids is hers.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still, I don't know. it's the way my brain works. And sometimes it runs away with thoughts before I have time to rein them in. But it just, and that, so you got kids, and what part of that process makes you a man? That really, I struggle with that because, excuse me. Like even now, my fiance currently, soon
for a couple more days,
soon to have a different label, asked me, do you feel like a dad yet? And I have to say, like, well, sometimes, but that's something else that I struggle with personally is like, I feel everything I do, I feel like a fake. And I don't know how to shake that. Like, it's like this self-doubt that I have that just creeps in the back of my head over everything. And, even like at work is the best example because I have documentation, right? So 2 times I have been awarded from the company as the best field service tech in the Southeast region of the United States.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you. Routinely I get asked to train new hires. Like they will pay for me to travel vast distances to train new people. I have trained people to do my boss's job.
See, that's awesome.
But then when people ask me like, so you're one of the best techs in the company, right? And I'm just like, probably not. It's always there. And so she asked me, is like, do you feel like a dad? And I'm like, I feel like I try to be.
Okay. So here's my thought on,
but I don't know that I don't know that I could ever answer that question with yes.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm a dad, right? I mean, I've got a kid. She's mine.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I still don't feel like a dad most of the time. I mean, I don't.
Well, okay.
But what does a dad feel like?
I don't know.
But because I mean, I don't feel like I have changed so much just simply because she's now here. Does that make sense? Like, our lives have completely changed. I know that I am responsible for this little human being that runs around in my house like something crazy that you guys probably can hear stomping through. Honestly, though, I mean, I don't feel like I necessarily have changed so much as a person. I just gained a title because I'm still me. We still do kind of the things that we've always done. We just now have a kid that we do those things with too. And I mean, some things are limited, I mean, we don't necessarily take off and go for a weekend out, whatever,
Right.
But still, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily, I mean, I feel like a dad sometimes and sometimes I don't. I don't know. That's like when she calls me dad, I feel like a dad. But when Ashley, she says, "Hey, honey," I feel like, hey, it's just me. So I don't know. I don't know that anyone ever just like would 100% feel like this is what I am. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are some of those people that do, but that was their life goal. My purpose in life is to have children, and that's what I'm going to do, and I will be a father. Da, 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 da. But I don't know. I don't think that that's something that I could necessarily say that I always feel like a dad. But anyway.
All right. But does it make you manly?
To be a dad?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I'm not a manly man anyway. Not by a long stretch.
So would it make
I meet some of the criteria. Don't get me wrong. If there is criteria, I have actually pulled up some stuff on the web.
Okay. We're going to get to that in just a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, there is criteria though. So
okay.
I do meet a few of those, but I still don't feel like I'm manly.
Right on. Would it make you manly to have been a good father?
No,
not just a father, but a good father.
No, I don't think that makes me manly. I think that would just make me a good dad. I don't think that necessarily means. I don't think manliness and good dad are synonymous.
Okay. Does being a father have any bearing on being manly?
I don't think so.
So you think that's two separate,
Totally different things.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think they're totally separate. I think some of the manliest men that's ever been out there may not have kids, may not be a dad. They're still very, very manly.
Good point. But
and then some, some dads that are out there are not necessarily manly at all, and
okay,
they've got kids running around everywhere.
Good point. So let me flip that scenario. Say they were a manly man,
okay,
but a deadbeat dad. Would that make them less of a man, less manly?
I don't think so. No, I still think they're manly. I mean, they still do manly things. Okay. Those are just things, though, that they do. And, yeah, I don't think that necessarily... They're still just to be a deadbeat dad, though.
Okay.
Again, I just don't think those things are synonymous.
Huh. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about being manly and maybe not being a father, but being a leader? Would being... a leadership, does that play a role in manliness?
I think it can, yes. I think leadership is a manly quality, not a trait, a quality.
Okay.
So I think that if a person is a leader and they are... Okay, no. If a manly person is a leader, those things complement one another. Because someone who is a good leader, one, is going to listen to their people, right? They're going to adjust to whatever needs to be done. They're going to have some form of ability to talk to people and interact with people in a positive way, I should say. They're going to be able to problem solve. They're going to be that person that someone can come to if they have an issue. So there's a lot of things that they do that that goes into leadership. And I think someone who is manly might see those qualities and use those things. But again, I don't necessarily think that they're synonymous. I think that they can work hand in hand, but not necessarily one determines the other.
All right. So a manly man can be a good leader, but leadership is not a requirement for being manly.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Because there are phenomenal leaders out there that are not necessarily manly.
Right.
That are of other genders.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm not saying leadership has to be a manly thing, I'm just like, right. My curiosity was like, can you be manly and not be a good leader?
Oh yeah, I think you can do that as well.
Okay.
Because again, I think that leadership would be a good quality for someone who is manly to have.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then this was my last thought on the whole topic. So we've gone through everything else. Physicality, strength. Like, can you be a manly man if you can't bench press the bar?
So you're talking like muscularity, like...
Yeah, like physicality, strength, and, muscles.
I think that's one of those things that starts to get into the stereotype of what is manliness. Because we've not really touched on the stereotype of what manliness is yet.
All right.
So I think that when we think of someone who is manly, and I don't know why, but through this entire conversation, the person that keeps popping in my mind is Thor. That's like the image that keeps popping up in my mind.
Like
like
Hemsworth,
or
like
the god of thunder, Thor,
okay.
right? Like
okay.
the Norse pagan
mythology.
god Thor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so very muscly, very much a leader, very brash, I would say. Doesn't show emotion, just very.
All problems are fixed by a hammer.
I mean, if every problem if the only thing that you have is a hammer, every problem is a nail.
There you go.
Right.
Yep.
So. That's kind of the guy that in my head I think of as when I think, he's a manly man. I mean, the Vikings, stuff like that. But anyway, I think that the muscly thing, that is part of the stereotype of what is manliness.
Oh, for sure. It's part of the stereotype, but does that make you manly to be muscly?
No.
To be strong. And then and then that talks like a whole other thing. You've got like gym muscles.
Right.
You know?
Like the bodybuilder muscles.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But
then there's the worker's muscle.
Right. There's like old farmer strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Those guys were dangerous.
Yeah. There's these guys, and today I stopped at a restaurant to pick up food, and on one of the TVs they had like funny videos,
right.
And it showed this dude with gym muscles for days, like big old huge gym muscles.
It's like they're full of air.
Yeah, he couldn't open a bottle of water.
Yeah,
he was like, and he couldn't open a bottle of water.
I have a family member that is a bodybuilder, like was a bodybuilder for years, like competed professionally bodybuilding,
okay.
right? And I can remember there was one point where he was like, he got himself in a specific position. And he's like, push on my arms. And I folded him up like a pretzel. And I was like, nah, dude, really? Like, push back. And he was like, that's everything I have. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, that's it. And I mean, I kid you not, I'm a little guy. I was able to just like, I mean, it was embarrassing how easily I folded him up. And then he was like, now try it this other way. And he all he did was rotate his arms and went in a different direction. He picked me up off the ground. And I was like, okay, now that's what I expected.
Right.
And he's like, but it's all in how you tone and what you tone. And it's the specific muscle groups that you work. It's how you build up to create the show effectively. So yeah, it's I don't think that, like you're talking about the gym muscles,
right?
Those sometimes are just for show.
Well, but that's kind of the question I'm getting towards is, talk about strength.
Right.
Well, when you talk about strength, are you just talking about big muscles? Like, is it manly to be big muscly and you can't open a pop bottle?
I don't think so.
Or is it manly to, be what they call old farmer strong, where you look at the guy and he don't look like nothing.
It's endurance.
But the dude can like reach down and pick up a 12-pound boulder with one hand and pick it up and carry it across a field.
Right.
Like, is that, so when you're talking about like strength, is it the big showy obvious strength, or is it the true, like, the actual ability to put your body to good use?
My personal thought is the body to good use thing. I mean, you can have a dude that is muscles from, top of his head to the bottom of his feet. And
right.
Again, that's just show. But for someone to be manly and do things, be able to do, physical things, I think that's the better quality, I would think, to not necessarily define manliness, but at least to, portray manliness.
All right.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
this is one of those things that I'm like, I'm second guessing everything I say. Everything that comes out of my mouth, I'm like, I don't think that's right, but is it?
Well, yeah, because it's I think it's, because I mentioned this to somebody else, and it may have even been you. I don't remember, but I did mention it to somebody else, and I did mention it to somebody else, and they said, "Oh, well, you could do the same thing about women." And I'm like, I don't feel
that was you and I. Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, well, I don't feel qualified to talk about women because.
And what is feminine?
Yeah. And what's feminine, because I can speak from personal experience as to what is manly.
But can we? That's the thing.
I mean,
I don't feel like I'm manly.
I can't say that I am manly, but being a man, I know, I know some of the stuff in the past that I have been judged for not being, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Like some, playing baseball as a kid, I got beaned with the ball and I was like crying because I was 7. And
right.
Suck it up, walk it off,
dude. Walk
it off. You'll be all right. And it's like, if a little girl got popped in the face, are you going to tell her to walk it off? And
no, you're going to make sure that she's okay.
So it's just, you learn. So anyway, I felt qualified to go and talk about this. And no, I don't know the answers either. And I don't know what the right answer is. I mean, I feel like, you brought up stereotype, and I feel like if to be stereotypically manly, you have to have visible physical strength. You have to have hard emotion. You can't, you can show, not even calculated. I think for stereotypical manliness, you are not allowed to be sad, afraid, or show
like
loving affection.
Yeah.
Like tender affection.
Right. Unless it's a duck, little baby duck, then you can show. No, I'm kidding.
And I think you have to, you can't. You have to be like cold and hard, and I think that's the stereotypical manly.
Right.
So, I don't know. Like when people ask me all this stuff, it's just like I don't know. I don't know where I fall on the range because I don't know what, do we have to be swift as the coursing river with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, as mysterious as the dark side of the moon? Is that what it takes to be manly? I don't know.
Okay. So you want to know what the interwebs says about manliness?
Yeah. Cause I did no research. This is all just this is me dumping out the jumbled mess of my brain.
Right. And I mean, I'm right there with you because it's hard to pinpoint. This one is. But I did just a little bit of research, not a whole lot, but just a little bit. There's a couple of different websites besides Merriam-Webster, of course.
Just a few.
Yep. The one of them is, it's called, let's see. It is called theartofmanliness.com.
Yep. They do a podcast.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So here is the things that they think of as manliness. It says, so my definition of manliness, like Aristotle's and the Romans, is simple. Strive for excellence and virtue in all areas of your life, fulfilling your potential as a man, and being the absolute best brother, friend, husband, father, and citizen you can be. This mission is fulfilled by the cultivation of many virtues like courage, loyalty, industry, resilience, resolution, personal responsibility, self-reliance, integrity, and sacrifice. That's a pretty good definition of, I think, what manliness kind of should look like.
Okay, so here's the thing that gets me about the definition. Go back to the very first, after Aristotle and Plato, like when he actually starts defining it. What did that?
Striving for excellence and virtue in all areas of your life, fulfilling your potential as a man, and being the absolute best brother, friend.
Right there. Hold on. So to be a man,
I don't think he's saying that you got to be somebody's brother. I think it's a brother.
No,
it's a brotherhood.
No. I'm not. No. I'm stopping you before you get to any of that.
Okay.
See, that's another thing, right? To be a man, you have to be the best. So if I'm a man, you can't be a man, because if you're the best, then I'm not the best.
So I think maybe they should reword theirs and saying fulfilling your potential as a man and being your absolute best.
I think that would be better.
Your absolute best, not the absolute best, but your absolute best at, being a brother, a friend, a husband, father, I think that's good.
Yeah.
So that would allow manliness to be spread among.
Right. Because the way it's worded there makes it sound like
there's an alpha.
Yeah. There's only one manly man and everybody else is second.
Speaking of the alpha, the other website that I had pulled up was called the Alpha Guide, Your Alpha Guide.
Okay.
And they have 15 things that they consider to be manly. So these are just things that they think, okay, this is manly and this is why they're manly. And they kind of give a little synopsis of each one of those things. And the first thing is something that we've touched base on. That is muscularity, being physically fit, being, being strong and having a good physique. And, that I don't want to say the bronzed sculpture of a man, but that's kind of what they're pointing at on this. Okay. You want to hear what the second thing is? It's just kind of funny. I thought,
sure.
Play the guitar and sing. They see that as being something that's very manly.
Well, so musicality in Greek and Roman times was always considered a manly trait.
Yep. So playing the guitar and singing is the second thing. The third thing, riding a motorcycle.
Or horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that they say is a manly trait. Here's one that I don't necessarily agree with, and that's because I don't do this, but smoking being a manly trait. It kind of is. I mean, you think back of like in like I don't know, Humphrey Bogart and all these like the old, everyone had the cigarette.
True. Well, and even before
the Marlboro Man, he was a manly man.
Yeah, well, I mean, and even before that, like, that was always a male. Like, it was, if you were a woman, it was kind of frowned on for you to use tobacco and smoke.
Right. Yeah, it was a manly thing.
That was always like a manly thing.
Yep. I mean, cigar bars were the...
a masculine thing, I think, would be better. Yeah.
So the fifth thing is having a beard. The big, full, beard.
Well, I can't do that.
I'm not a beard guy. The sixth thing, guns. That's a masculine kind of thing, to have the big gun and go out and shoot and blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
So we've touched on this one. Number 7 is emotional control. So that is that, not being the drama queen and making sure that you got your emotions in check.
Okay. So they're for the control as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 8, dealing with pests. Spiders and bugs and such.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, making sure that whenever she goes, ee, you go, I've got this, and swat it and it's dead.
Okay.
Fend off the dangerous animals.
All right.
Number 9, technical sense. This would be knowing how to program the VCR, knowing how to hook up the stereo, knowing how to set up the television, knowing how to. This technical
record,
sense.
edit, and publish a podcast.
Exactly. So these are they say that is a manly trait. Number 10, expression of anger. This one, if people had to associate one single feeling to men in general, it would be first and foremost anger. Aggression is perceived by men as dominance and masculinity. Why? It says in this blog, they support full control of your negative feelings. Usually when you let your anger control you, you've already lost. So expressions of anger are a manly thing. But
controlled expression of anger.
Control.
Because it said right there, if
don't let it get out of control. Because then you've lost. Okay. But express your anger, right?
Okay.
Number 11, being tall is considered a manly trait.
Now, that's just not even fair. That's genetic.
It's genetic.
How can you help it if you're short? Like, that's another thing. Like that's something else that's one that truly aggravates me, right? You see these people all the time, and you see women, especially, complain that, oh, he can't judge me by my weight. He blah, 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 blah. But I don't want no short man. You can lose weight. That poor guy cannot get any taller.
True enough.
Like that.
True enough.
That truly annoys me. You have zero control over your height.
Yep, this is true. But that's one of the things that they perceive as being manly. It says women are simply obsessed with tall men. So obsessed with that most women won't date a man that's shorter than them or possibly even the same height. So they're talking about being tall as being a manly trait.
That aggravates me.
All right. Number 12, dark clothes. People that wear like the dark clothes and the flannels and the stuff like that. That's considered. And they specifically broke these things down. Girls equal pink. Boys equal.
I'm going to guess blue.
Perfect.
But that's not even necessarily the case.
This is true. Women, bright colors. Men, more dark colors. And I know I'm one of those people that I love to wear like the bright color stuff.
No. I'm saying like historically, it's only within the last like 40 years. Pink used to be the color of boys.
Right.
Like back in the day, if
you look at like schoolyards and stuff like that. Yeah, that was the boys that were.
Pink was the boys' color, not the girls' color.
Right. I mean, you're right. And if you look in nature at all, it's the males that typically have the color on anything, birds and, and other animals, because they need to attract the female. So, but I mean, here, like I said, I'm just reading off their website. I know.
Sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
I'll stop interrupting.
It's okay. It's all good. Number 13, gambling. They see that as a manly thing. Playing like high risk games, like the what is it, the high stakes poker and stuff like that. They see that as a manly trait. Number 14, interests in sports. And I know we live in Big Blue Nation, so it doesn't, I mean, that just crosses all lines of everything. But a lot of places, it's just the guys that sit down with the bowl of nachos and hot wings and they watch the game. And the women a lot of times will be bringing stuff into them, kind of catering to them. But so they say that interest in sports is a manly thing. And then number 15, and we have seen this ourselves, the last episode of season 1 proved it. A deep voice. Good old Obi sounding like a bear. True. That's a manly quality, having that deep kind of thundery voice. And I do have to agree with that one. That is definitely kind of a masculine trait. So
that one can go a little too far, though. I gotta say, have you seen? What's the movie with the werewolves and the vampires?
Twilight.
No.
Just showed my masculinity, didn't I?
Okay. Technically, yes. Not the one I was talking about. The one with Kate Beckinsale.
Underworld.
Thank you. So one of the werewolves, who in the film is portrayed by a very large black man.
Right.
That's actually the director of the film.
Oh, cool.
And in the movie...
Very, very rumbly, huh?
Very deep. His voice is so deep that I cannot understand what he's saying in the film.
It's just a rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the worst decision I've ever seen an audio engineer make. Why did they EQ his voice? I mean, I understand they... No,
that's really his voice.
That's what that dude sounds like when he speaks. Like I saw him doing interviews later.
You also have seen these people, or you've heard these people, I should say, that have that really, really baritone, rich voice. That that one Obi, is silky and smooth.
Obi has an excellent voice.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what they're talking about too.
Yeah, Mike Rowe.
Yes,
is another one's got a good deep baritone.
Exactly, and those voices, that voice is that masculine voice.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it can go the other way really quick if you go too far. I mean, it becomes Batman and Christian Bale's Batman with just a grumble.
Well, that's just that to me. That's just rasp. But I mean, that other guy's voice is just so deep that like I literally can't understand him.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what is that guy saying? So I'm like, if I was in real life, I would be staring at his chest, waiting for the subtitles to pop up. So I got no clue.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, that's a lot of things that, according to the Art of Manliness, to be manly.
No, that wasn't the Art of Manliness. That's the your alpha. Yeah,
alpha male.
Yeah, you're alpha.
You're alpha. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I can agree with most of those, except for the height thing. That truly bugs me because most of the height. I mean, you can't do anything really about your voice. I can modulate the tone of my voice and bring it down a little bit. It's not comfortable. So like Johnny Cash would be very manly.
Johnny Cash has got one of those voices. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I don't like the height thing. You can't do anything about that. You can't help it if you're not tall.
So let me see what else it says here too. When it's talking about the tall thing, women are simply obsessed. Here too, we're talking about a feature that indicates physical strength. Tall men tend to be stronger than short men, thanks to bigger muscles on average. In addition, height creates the illusion that the man is thinner than he really is. When obesity is a real epidemic and isn't perceived as attractive, it's another small advantage. So these guys kind of are stretched out and taller, and they I guess everything is bigger about them. So
I could see that because I know when I tell people how much I weigh, they don't believe me.
Yeah.
Typically speaking, they're like, "Oh, you don't weigh that much." Like, yeah, I do. I'm fat. They're like, "No, you're not." I'm like, yeah.
See, it's the exact opposite for me. I tell people how much they're when they're like, "Really? It's just that much?" Oh, come on, you weigh more than that.
No, but like seriously, I jumped on the scale this morning. It was right at 230.
Yeah, mine said get off the scale.
And
no, I'm somewhere right around that as well. But you've also got like 3 inches on me. You're what, 5'11"?
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, so I'm 5'9", so you got a couple inches on me. So
yeah, and so so people don't. So I see what you're saying about that. Is like it does help spread the weight out. But I would still like to lose some pounds, and I finally got into a place where I can start doing that again. Good. What day was it? Saturday. This past Saturday, I actually installed the trailer hitch on the car so I can start transporting my bicycle again, so I can start riding again. Because holy smokes,
I've seen some of those guys out there. They're biking again.
Oh yeah. They never stopped.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gotten warm enough to where I'm seeing like groups of them again, rather than just like 1 or 2 here and there.
So, the club as an organization last year postponed all group rides due to COVID.
Oh, nice.
Because CDC recommended no gatherings, especially if you were exercising, because of the increased respiration, which increases your chance to spread the disease. Mm-hmm. So as the group, they decided no group rides.
That's really good.
And so as the CDC is lifting, CDC guidelines currently state that if you've been vaccinated, you can be in public in small groups outdoors.
Right.
With no masks.
Socially distanced.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still no masks.
Right.
Groups are okay as long as you're outdoors. So the club has decided as long as you're vaccinated,
you're good to go.
Go do a club ride.
Cool.
And so they're starting the group rides back up again. So yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
And yeah, it's fine. Oh God, that was loud. And it's finally warm enough that you can actually ride.
Yeah, I think that was what I was thinking. Anyway, was when I'm out and about, I'm actually, and I'm on some of those roads now that they ride, and, like 635. Yeah, I've seen groups on that road.
Yeah,
so.
And last year, like I said, they canceled all. The official group rides were all canceled. Now, if an individual called their buddy or girlfriend or whatever, and they wanted to go ride together, but that was between them, but it wasn't the group.
Right.
And so, on big rides, we used to get 40, 45 people.
Yeah.
All together.
I'm seeing more like, 6 to 10 as it stands now.
Right. Well, they are trying to keep it to smaller groups.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. I'm glad that they're getting back to it.
And I want to get back to it. It's the only, my knees are so bad that it's the only form of exercise that I can maintain.
Yeah. That's good.
So I'm so excited to get back out and go again.
Yeah. I'm hoping to be doing some more exercise once this pool gets in. Swimming some laps and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, man? Have we defined manliness?
Absolutely not.
Have we tried?
We've talked about all the things that might be manly. Sure.
At least a few
I think
things.
I agree. Okay. Let's try to line it out. I think not allowing your emotions to control you.
Yes. Being a good friend, being a good person.
Striving to be the best person you can be.
Right.
I think would be a good way to phrase all that stuff that Art of Manliness said.
Yes.
Just always striving for excellence.
Yes. And not necessarily to be the best, but to be your best.
Your best, right.
Yes.
And I would go and say possibly even, I think to me, one of the big things that I never heard mentioned in any of those, and something that I feel kind of strongly about, is something that you said was humility.
Yes.
I think it's important as a man, as a manly man, to be able to admit fault, take responsibility, and admit when somebody else is better than you.
And respect that.
Right, exactly. When an expert comes on and tells you that something is a fact, don't go, oh, no, it ain't. You go, okay, well, you've studied that for 20 years. That's your entire career, profession, vocation, job, hobby, and everything you are. And I'm going to listen to you.
Yeah, and you have all the data to back it up. Yeah.
Right. I think that's another thing, and here we are sitting on our podcast. I'm going to get on a soapbox again. We should have just stopped, but I'm going to. Yeah, I think that's one of the bad things about the internet and technology is it allows everybody to have a megaphone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, here we are on our podcast with our little megaphone screaming at the top of our lungs about all the silly stuff we talk about.
Whatever we want to. I mean, really, we can talk about anything on here that we want to talk about.
But the problem is people get a hold of that and it can go crazy online and get blown out of proportion and be like, oh, look, these two guys, they've got a show. They must be experts. They're talking about it. And then they get cited as a fact, credited to me. And all of a sudden, I'm the leading expert on manliness. And I'm like, whoa, what happened?
But you are you not?
Yeah, of course.
No, I mean, so you're right.
I think that's one of the problems, though, is like when people can't admit somebody else knows better and maybe you should listen to that person.
Yeah.
Or, just like you say, I think that's being manly. Humility is like being able to recognize somebody else's authority and respect it.
Yeah.
I think is a key part of being.
I agree.
I'm a mature man, manly man, not the egotistical Hulk smash, Thor hammer kind of a guy. But because to me, I think a manly man is about maturity as much as, and maybe that comes from, like I said, my youth being dominated by a 70-year-old man as my role model who didn't have the physicality. So to me, a manly man has wisdom, intelligence.
I was just going to say someone that is wise.
Right.
And that comes with years and experience.
Yeah.
And I think when you finally get to that point, or when someone finally gets to that point of truly being manly, they no longer will strive to be manly, because I mean, being that humble person is now a part of them. I think it just becomes natural for them.
Yeah, you don't have to try anymore.
Yeah.
And I think, maybe that's part of it. I think, that I know some Eastern philosophies teach surrender. Mm-hmm. Just to just be.
Yeah.
Don't try to be something, just be.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think with age, it gets to the point, and I know for a fact for myself, the older I get, the more I realize that what other people think doesn't really matter.
No.
I mean, it does, but like, I'm just talking about like what Jim Bob's opinion of me is. Like, oh God, it used to tear me up that somebody thought I was a moron, or somebody thought I was hateful, or somebody like, I couldn't stand it. I'm a good person. Why can't you see that I'm a good person?
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm hateful? Why do you think I'm mean? It used to eat me alive. And I think the older I get, the more I realize that you have no control over that. All you can control is yourself.
Right.
And am I really going to let it destroy my day that dude over there thinks I'm a jerk?
No. And you shouldn't, because I can control my thoughts. I can't control yours.
Exactly. For my job, I drive a lot. Been doing it for 13 years. When I first started, somebody lay on the horn and flipped me the finger. And, I was like, oh my God, what is that guy's problem? Like,
what did I do? Did I cut them off? Did I?
Yeah, exactly. Now somebody does it and I'm just like, whatever. And just go on. And, it used to tear me up all day.
Yeah.
Like, why did they do that? What was wrong? And now I'm just like, I'm not aware that I did anything blatantly wrong. They just must have been having a bad day, and that's their problem. And I think that's part of it, is just learning to just be. Yeah. You don't have to assert dominance.
No.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I think maybe that comes back to my early child role model.
But you had a good role model, it sounds like. Honestly, it does. If we're talking about being manly, it sounds like you had a good source.
And I will say all around, he's probably, no, I'm not even going to say probably. All around, he is one of the best men I've ever known.
Right.
And yeah, he was my great grandfather. I'm related to him. But there's plenty of people that I'm related to that I don't think are that good of men.
Right.
And so I'm not just saying that because of the relation, but everybody that lived on his street called him Granddaddy. Yeah. Nobody knew his name. He was just Granddaddy.
Because that's what he was to everyone.
Yeah. If you came to Granddaddy's house, you sat there and talked to Granddaddy.
Yep.
And he would treat you with compassion and respect, and he would feed you.
Yep.
And, that's just the way he was.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what I hope I can be one day. And I specifically say that to my earlier life because, my mom married a guy 20 years ago now.
Right. Terry.
And he has been a great person in my life, a tremendous, and, it got me emotional. So a while back, I had a lot of problems, just disaster after disaster.
Right.
Just everything seemed to be going wrong. And the last thing that happened was the washing machine blew up in my basement.
Oh my gosh.
Not literally exploded, but like water went everywhere and it just quit going. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I got to get a new washer.
Yeah.
I don't have a truck. I don't have a trailer. I can't haul it. I don't, what am I going to do? How am I going to get it here? They want $50 to deliver it. I can't even afford a new washing machine, and let alone paying $50 for delivery.
Right.
And then they want a disposal fee for the old one. And holy smokes, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I call him up and I'm like, Pops, I hate to ask you this, but can you please bring your truck over? Cause it's, 40 miles each way.
Right.
Can you please come and help me? Like, I can barely afford to buy the new washing machine. I can't afford the delivery. I can't afford the disposal fee. I hate to ask, but what time you owe me there, brother?
That's his response. And you know what? If you would have said anything else, I'd have been like, nah, you're lying. Because that's exactly the response that I would expect from Terry.
Yeah.
When you need me there, man, I'll be right there.
And that's just the guy he is. And I told him when he got to my house, because this was after I had started seeing my fiance.
Right.
And I told him when he got to the house that I can only hope that someday these two girls think of me the way I think of you.
That's awesome.
Because he truly has been a father to me.
And that's awesome, because that's something that's hard for a person to do.
Right.
And not just hard for a person to do, but hard for a man to become to someone else's children. So,
yeah. And I mean, you know, I'm not trying to... I had other stepdads.
Yeah. Right.
Most of them were terrible father figures.
Right.
I'm not going to say they all were. Some of them I don't remember. One of them I specifically only know his name. I have no memories of him because I was so little at the time.
Yeah.
I do know from stories I've been told that he was a terrible person.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good thing I don't remember him, I guess. But so, yeah, I mean, precisely what you're saying. It's a hard thing for somebody to do, especially as jaded as I was.
I mean, you had a lot of baggage.
Yeah, I did, I guess.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just, you know, it's stuff like that that just makes me wonder, am I doing everything I could do? And does that make it, does me worrying that I'm not being the best I could be, is that enough to make me what I want to be?
No. I will tell you no.
Okay.
But identifying that and having the goal, the drive, and the will to keep moving toward that will eventually put you there.
Okay. So can you ever get there? Or is it one of those things where it's a constant journey?
I'll tell you what.
You know what I mean?
Call Terry and ask him.
Fair enough.
Because evidently he's made it.
Well, I just think, you know,
I'm just saying, you just got it. I mean, that's one of those things.
But
from his perspective, will he feel like he's there?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. And exactly. And that's why I say call Terry and ask him, because you or I cannot answer that question.
Right. I mean, okay. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, so do you think you're there?
No.
I don't think I'm there.
Do I think I'll ever be there? No. And I think the fact that I'm on that journey and moving in that direction, if I'm constantly continuing to move in that direction, though, I feel like I'll never achieve. But that doesn't necessarily mean I will not try.
So could we borrow a Japanese word here? Could we say that the attempt to be a man is a process of Kaizen?
Maybe.
Because Kaizen means continual improvement.
I think so.
So would that be? It's a process where you can't. It's one of those things where you always have to try more.
I think so. I think that would be a good way of. Yes, I think so.
All right, I can live with that.
All right.
So
manliness is not what you are. It's what you will be. It's what you strive to be.
It's what you strive to be, and maybe even you can never be manly, but other people can say you're manly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks.
We have defined manliness.
You out there will never be manly.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean we don't think you're manly.
Exactly. Unless somebody else thinks you're manly, but you're not allowed to think it yourself, because you need to constantly be striving to be better.
I like it. Wow. So philosophical debate is pretty awesome. I can't wait to start diving into this book. If we were able to do that with just something like manliness, good Lord, when we actually start with what the philosophers.
Yeah. And we've got, one of our friends, Jake from Brothers Quarrel podcast. And look, guys, you can enunciate that so people don't try to find Brother Squirrel.
You know what? I say it every time. A brother squirrel.
Because that's the way they say
squirrel.
That's what they say. When they say it, they're like, you can email us, Brother Squirrel.
Brother Squirrel?
You're going to email Brother Squirrel? No, it's a brother's quarrel.
As in a argument, fight, quarrel.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
So Jake,
he's he enjoys philosophy. I think, enjoys studying the humanities in general.
Yeah. I even think that he was saying that he was going to try to get Bob in on this, maybe.
I don't know if Bob would enjoy it as much. Jake, I think, would actually enjoy Bob's not so much.
I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I'm sure that once Jake joins us once, Bob's going to have to jump in.
Well, yeah. The problem is the technology of it. So I got to figure out how to get the recording going on that. But anyway, we may have the capabilities to get some more people to join us remotely. We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, yes, we're going to start. And the more voices you get, the longer the shows get. So, that's always fun.
Start breaking them up in 3 and 4 parts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Stay tuned.
But so we're going to start doing those too when we need a break from the long study and hard thought. And in the meantime, if you have any interests, feel free to drop us an email. You can email us at twomindspodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. You can find us on Podbean, Bean, BEAN, twominds.podbean.com.
Right.
You can find us on Spotify. You can look for either Jason Claywell, Jeremy Ham, either one of those. Make sure you put quotations around those names, though. Or you can put Two Minds Podcast, put quotations around that as well.
Right. And make sure you're searching in the podcast section of Spotify.
That's
you
right.
have to click on podcast first and then search for us because it won't find us otherwise.
That's right. Tweet us, Two Minds Podcast.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever received a tweet.
Not as of like 6 months ago, the last time I checked the Twitter account.
Yeah, I don't tweet. So
I don't understand Twitter at all.
I don't really either.
I don't really know how it works.
No.
I think I was too old when it came out and it just went over my head. Also, we still have a Facebook group page. You can find that at facebook.com/groups/twomindspodcast. And feel free to drop anything in there. We will gladly have a friendly debate.
Throw us your ideas on what manliness is.
Tell us what you think manliness is.
If we missed something, because I feel like there's some kind of like glowing thing that's in front of me that I've completely overlooked with this whole manliness thing. And I'm sure that one of you out there has spotted this and can drop it in one of our comment sections and let us know about what we've missed.
Yeah. Or if there's something in particular you really want to hear our opinions on, let us know. And we may turn it into a podcast episode.
I was going to say, yeah, ideas for podcasts. We're always interested. So
yeah, without a doubt.
Okay. Well, dude, we've got a couple of days until we're like hitching you up. So
I'm excited. I'm really.
Yep.
Can't wait.